Hey guys, how are you today?
Good.
Good.
Good. So today we're going to be talking about solving two-step equations. But first off, before we actually start, we have to go over the order of operations. Does anybody know the acronym on how to remember it? It's sort of written up here, right? Do you know what they stand for? Okay, so the first one is parentheses, right? So that's number one. That means when you're doing an equation, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to solve whatever is in the parentheses. Okay. Then the next one is the exponent. So after you solve for the parentheses, then you move on to do whatever is at the exponents. From there, there's multiplication and division, and then finishing it out is addition and subtraction. So just as something small, if you do 2 times 2 plus 2, what's going to be done first?
Multiplication.
Yes. So 2 times 2, 4, plus 2, 6, right? Okay, great. So the lesson today, we're actually going to be doing the reverse part of it. We're going to be doing it backwards in order to solve for a variable. So the first example that I want to do, example 1, is 3x plus 7 equals 28, okay? So, in doing reverse PEMDAS, or please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, what's the first thing you do? Tamika?
We add 7 to the other side.
So what you want to do is you want to cancel the 7 out, okay? You want to get x by itself. That's the goal in solving a two-step equation. So instead of adding a 7, you're going to subtract it. And whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other, right? So then these cancel out, and you have 3x equals 21. Now, if you do the opposite of addition here, which is subtraction, this is multiplication. So what are you going to do to get x by itself? Desi?
Divide 3 on both sides.
Yes, that's correct. Good job. So you divide each side by 3. These cancel out. You're left with x equals, and what's 21 divided by 3?
7.
All right. So, great. And now let's move on to example 2 over here. Okay. X over 5 plus 6 equals 56. So, in following what you did with example 1, what's the first thing you're going to do? Jordy?
Subtract 6 from both sides.
Yes. So subtract 6, this cancels, subtract 6. X over 5 equals 50. Okay. So x over 5 is also a fancy way of saying x divided by 5, right? So now what do you do from there? If you did the opposite of getting multiplication by dividing, what are you going to do with this?
You divide it or multiply it by 5, both sides
Yes,
by 5.
correct. So you're going to multiply this by 5. This cancels out. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. X equals 50 times 5. Who can do that off the top of their head? Phil?
250.
All right. There you go. So, now let's move on to something a little bit more difficult. Let's go example 3. We will do 7x minus 12 equals 16. Okay. So what's the first thing we do? Oh, actually, I'm sorry. So first off, let me say, does anybody know the reason as to why we have to do the reverse order of operations here? What if we just started with the 7x? What if we just wanted to divide that and we followed order of operations? What would happen?
It would be more complicated.
Yes, because instead of, not only do you have to do it from whatever you do on one side, you have to do to the other, but you also would have to include this 12. So if you did it, just hypothetically, you'd have to divide 7x by 7, you have to divide the 12 by 7, and the 16 by 7. So instead, by doing it the other way, what do you do first? Desi?
Add 12 to both sides.
All right. Plus 12. 7x equals 28. Who can solve that? what do you do next? Jordy?
Divide 7 from both sides.
And what's your final answer?
X equals 4.
All right, good job today. Good? Thank you so much.